Good evening, everyone. I'm Ethan. The steady rhythm of the rain hitting the studio windows tonight makes the world feel a little smaller and much more honest.
Good evening. I'm Sophie. Usually we start these sessions with a laugh or a complaint about a chewed-up shoe, but tonight feels different. It feels like a night for the questions we only ask in the dark.
This episode is proudly presented by BaleSmyth. They understand that being a pet parent isn't just about the premium gear or the food. It's about the silent, soulful contract we signed with these animals from day one.
Tonight, we are exploring a word that follows every pet owner like a shadow: guilt. We spend so much of our lives apologizing to them for our busy schedules, our stress, and our human limitations.
The question at the heart of it all is this: if they could truly understand our words, or if they could finally speak back, would they choose to forgive us for the moments we felt we failed them?
We often look into their eyes, searching for a sign of resentment, but all we see is a reflection of ourselves. Welcome to the sanctuary of the night. Let's talk about the highest form of forgiveness.
Every morning when I grab my keys, the metallic jingle seems to echo like an alarm bell for Cooper's heart. I look at him and see that slow, resigned tilt of his head, and I find myself making promises I know I can't keep, promises of early returns and long sunset walks. It feels like I'm constantly negotiating with a soul that doesn't understand the concept of a deadline.
We spend our days climbing corporate ladders, while they spend their days simply measuring the distance between themselves and the front door.
Last week, I had to give him those bitter eardrops, and the way he tried to hide under the dining table absolutely broke me. I was nearly in tears while doing it because I couldn't find a way to explain that I wasn't attacking him, but saving him from a painful infection. I hate being the villain in his story, even if it's only for 5 minutes a day.
The hardest part of love is being the hand that causes the sting, knowing the explanation is trapped behind an unbreakable wall of silence.
I often wonder if he remembers the times I lost my temper because he chewed something valuable while I was stressed from work. I carry those specific memories for years, replaying the scared look on his face and wondering if that one moment of my human weakness redefined his entire worldview of me. I'm terrified that my worst 5 minutes are what he thinks of when he hears my name.
We are the archivists of our own mistakes, whereas they are the masters of immediate emotional recovery.
Sometimes I sit on the floor with him and just talk, pouring out all my regrets about the walks we missed or the times I was too distracted by my phone to notice him. I search his eyes for even a flicker of resentment, a sign that he's holding on to a grudge for all the ways I've fallen short as a provider. But the more I apologize, the more he just leans his weight against my leg, as if trying to steady my shaking heart.
Your apology is a bridge you are building to a place where he is already standing, waiting for you with open arms.
I look at the leash hanging by the door and feel this sharp sting of regret for all the times I was simply too exhausted to pick it up. I wonder if Cooper thinks he did something wrong to lose his outside time, or if he thinks he's being punished for my long day.
He doesn't see a missed walk as a penalty. He sees a quiet evening on the sofa with you as a different kind of prize, one where he gets the best version of your stillness.
Even during those weeks where my stress was at a boiling point and I was snappy or distant, Cooper didn't retreat to the other room. He actually stepped closer, resting his chin on my knee as if he knew my soul was hurting far more than his feelings were.
They are perhaps the only creatures on Earth who see our darkest shadows and decide that's exactly where they want to lie down.
If I could ask Luna or Cooper one thing, would it be, do you forgive me for the nights I chose work over you? Or is the answer so inherent in their nature that the question itself is meaningless?
To a cat like Luna, forgiveness isn't a gift she hands out. It is the state of grace she allows you to inhabit as long as you are present.
It's almost as if they are the guardians of a secret we've long forgotten, that true love doesn't require a ledger of debts and repayments. We are the ones obsessed with the what-ifs, while they are simply anchored in the what-is.
We spend our entire lives trying to be good enough for them, while they spent their first 5 minutes with us deciding we were already perfect.
Maybe that's the real forgiveness frequency, a constant broadcast of pure acceptance that plays 24/7 while we're the only ones struggling to tune in.
The only thing they are truly waiting for isn't a formal apology. It's just the moment you finally stop being so hard on yourself and just start petting them again.
I suspect that if they finally spoke, they wouldn't say, "I forgive you" at all. They would probably just look at us, tilt their heads, and ask, "Why did you think you ever left my heart?"
Their silence isn't an absence of words. It's an abundance of peace that we haven't quite learned how to join yet.
Look at our producer through the glass. He's staring at his reflection as if he's practicing a confession for the ginger cat waiting at his apartment. He told me earlier he feels a strange, heavy guilt every time he looks at photos of Siamese cats, like he's committing a secret act of feline infidelity.
It's the ultimate internal conflict, living a life with a legacy orange while his heart secretly wanders toward the elegance of a Siamese.
He's convinced that his 10-kilogram orange boss can actually smell the betrayal on his browser history. He wants to tell that cat that admiring a different breed doesn't mean he's any less committed to their chaotic shared life.
He's projecting a human sense of loyalty onto a creature that probably only views his browser history as a distraction from the upcoming dinner time.
He's wondering right now if his cat would ever forgive him for the times he wished for a quieter, more poised companion instead of a fur-covered propane tank. He sees every knocked-over water glass as a form of vocalized resentment for his lack of total, singular devotion.
He's so busy asking for a pardon that he hasn't noticed his cat already granted it the moment it decided to sleep on his face last night.
Our producer wants to say that he's tired of the constant inspections and the orange hair on his black hoodies, but his eyes tell a different story. He's terrified of the day the apartment goes quiet and there's no one left to demand his attention.
Behind that tragic, weary smile is a man who has finally realized that being owned by a cat he didn't choose is the most meaningful commitment he's ever made.
He's actually nodding along with us now, realizing that his ginger cat doesn't need his apologies for being an unintentional owner. He wants to tell us that the cat's weight on his chest at night is the only thing that actually keeps his anxiety from floating away.
It seems the orange prison he complains about is actually the only place where he feels completely understood.
Talking this through with you tonight has lifted a weight I didn't even realize I was carrying. I'm starting to see that my guilt was just a wall I built between myself and the joy Cooper was trying to give me all along.
We often spend our energy seeking a forgiveness that was granted the very second we walked back through the door.
I think the lesson here is that we should stop apologizing for being human and start learning how to be more like them, loving without keeping score. They don't want our explanations, they just want our presence, even if it's exhausted and imperfect.
The beautiful chaos of our lives isn't something we need to fix. It's the very thing that makes us whole.
If you're listening to this in the dark with a warm chin resting on your lap or a soft purr in your ear, just take a moment to breathe it in. You are already forgiven for everything you think you did wrong today.
Go ahead and give them that extra treat or that long, silent hug they've been waiting for.
If this conversation touched a nerve or helped you release some of that pet parent guilt, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. It helps us reach more tired souls who need to hear that they are doing a great job.
And we really want to hear from you in the comments. If your pet could say just one sentence to you tonight, what do you think it would be?
I see our producer grabbing his keys, finally looking more relieved than transparent. He's heading home to his orange prison, and I'm heading home to a living room that might still be full of fluff, but I don't mind anymore.
Share your stories with us below, and let's remind each other that we aren't alone in this beautiful, messy journey. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Ethan. Go home to your best friends. Good night, everyone.
Good night. We'll see you in the comments.